Hello, and welcome to Telgoo5 Talks, where we dive into the strategies, technologies, and trends shaping the future of wireless. Today, we're exploring a major shift in the regional broadband landscape, the move from being a traditional cable and fiber provider to becoming a full service mobile operator. And in an era where customers want their services bundled, affordable, and seamless, how does a 90-year-old company reinvent its relationship with its customers and its neighbors? I'm Stuart Chowning, and I'm thrilled to be joined by Ben Dold, the president and COO of Midco. Midco has been an absolute staple in the upper Midwest for decades, and they've recently made waves by announcing the launch of Midco Mobile. Ben, welcome to the podcast. Let's dive right in.
Thank you, Stuart. Excited to be here and talk a little bit about Midco and the excitement that we have building around Midco Mobile.
Amazing. Ben, you've been with Midco for over 14 years now, and before stepping into the role as president, for those who might not be familiar with Midco's footprint in the Midwest, can you introduce yourself and give us, the elevator pitch on the company today?
Absolutely. Yeah. So as you mentioned, Midco's been around for over 90 years, and we serve about 500,000 customers across the upper Midwest, serving most of South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, as well as Western Wisconsin and Eastern Kansas. And over those 90 plus years, we've really evolved to meet the needs of our customers and communities. And today we're primarily a broadband company providing symmetrical gigabit level speeds to homes and businesses in our footprint, video, voice services, and really being a force for good in the communities that we serve. And so, yeah, I've been here 15 years now and really excited about a lot of the strong momentum we have going on.
You guys have an amazing team, and we've been able to see the discipline and as well as the focus on the customer. You've seen a lot of evolution during your tenure there at Midco, and looking at the company now, especially with that fiber forward focus that your team has, what are you personally most proud of regarding Midco's culture and recent achievements?
Yeah, absolutely. We have such strong momentum with our Fiber Forward initiative, which is really a generational upgrade and expansion of our network. And so we're upgrading all of the legacy fiber and connections into the homes and businesses, bringing fiber deeper into communities, upgrading all the electronics on the way to make sure that we can offer all the speed, capacity, reliability that customers need now and well into the future, while also expanding into new communities that are looking for another great option for their broadband services. And so that's been going really well. I'm also really proud of the Midco customer commitment that we launched last year, which really, is our way of committing to customers. What can you and should you expect from us as maybe a new customer going through the onboarding process, or a customer that's been with us for a long time that needs help or has questions? And it's just our way of hopefully giving them really strong confidence in who we are, that we're going to stand behind our products, that we're committed to making sure that they have the best experience. And then from a cultural perspective, yes, I am so proud of the team that we have. Our team members show up for one another. They care a great deal for our customers. They're involved in the communities, and that's just a big part of who we are at Midco. And I'm really proud to be a part of that team.
Yeah, it's been exciting to watch as well for me. As you think about the providers that are coming in, competition is strong as it's ever been in this fiber, broadband, cable space. You've got the large national competitors coming in. And as a regional operator, you compete with them on things like price and product and bundles, things of that nature. But there's an area where they simply can't compete. They can't know your customer as deeply and as closely as you can. They can't buy a relationship and they can't buy a reputation. And Midco has developed just an amazing reputation in the communities where you've served, not only providing services, but being a member of that community. And I've been able to personally witness your team's dedication to that customer forward, fiber forward, and community neighbor centric piece of it. And so really is well done for you and your team.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I talk to the team a lot about, we're making investments in new products in our network, and those are all super important. They give us an opportunity to win in the market, but ultimately it's our team and their commitment to our customers that actually put the wins on the board.
Well, Midco has been an absolute staple and powerhouse in broadband and cable, but now you've recently announced this expansion into the wireless world with Midco Mobile. Why was this the right time to launch a wireless service for your traditional customer base? What were the things that went into making that decision, and what was this inflection point that got you to this point?
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned earlier that Midco as a company has continued to evolve over the years to meet the needs of our customers. And this is no different than what we've done historically. And so we were hearing from our customers that they wanted to bundle mobile service from their broadband provider. We're hearing it directly from them. We're seeing it in the market. We've seen many of our larger peers be very successful with a converged broadband and mobile offering. And so it was something that we felt like, hey, this is something that we can be really successful with. And so it was all about looking at what's the right time to do it, what's the right way to do it, how do we make sure that it fits within our products, our brand, and things like that. And so it was really just became the right time for us to say, okay, the landscape is ready for us to do this. We feel like we can be successful, and our customers are telling us they want it. And so that's really what gave us the push to say, okay, it's time. Let's build this.
Amazing. Yeah, and you can see it in the results as well. There's an undeniable impact to operator churn on services like broadband when you bundle the wireless service with it. And that signals that shift in the customer's mind about the value of not only one or the other service, but the power of bringing those two together. And so launching a mobile service is a pretty massive undertaking. You recently signed delivery agreements with Telgoo5 in order to help bring those services alive. Can you talk a little bit about your vendor selections process and what the non-negotiables were when you were making a decision to choose a strategic partner?
Yeah, absolutely. Within our industry, there is a long history of having strong vendor relationships. Much of what we do to support our customers and the services that we provide rests upon strong relationships with our vendors. And so we really built from that history. And we wanted to find a partner and partners that were willing to make that type of commitment to us, that believed in what we were trying to accomplish with a great customer experience. And with Telgoo5 and Blue Connects, we found a partner with a strong history, 20 plus years of providing support with Telgoo5, and then access to the strong nationwide reliable network that we really wanted to make sure that we could have as part of Midco Mobile. And so, we think about all the ways that our teams support our customers, and those were all super important. We needed to have really strong back end systems, those BSS, OSS platforms, so that we could support our customers through the buy flow, through the support journey, and all of that at a level that they've come to expect from us. And then having access to that reliable nationwide network was super important so that we could compete on the same footing with other national providers. And we found that with the team at Telgoo5 and Blue Connects, and have been really happy with how well our teams have worked together through this process where we now have team members on the platform and we're ready for launch.
Yeah, you mentioned team members on the platform. You were actually the very first person at Midco to port your number to this new service, and that was a little earlier, later last year. And so, based on that experience and the launch, what advice would you give to other regional operators who are considering kind of following this path, saying, "I want to add mobile, I want to reduce churn, I want to increase revenue, I want to really support my customers better." What kind of advice would you give your peers in this space?
Yeah, I think it starts with just having that commitment that we're going to do this the right way. We're going to go into it so that it is a level of experience that matches the other products that we provide and that it lives up to our brand promise and brand value. I think that's super important. And then you need to pick partners that have the experience and the know-how to help you along the journey because it's different and it's a new process and new ways of doing things. And so it's important to have a partner that's been through it and can help you, but that can also really dig in with your team. And then for any leaders of organizations that are looking to do this, I think it valuable to be the first one or very early in the process because it gave me the opportunity then to travel around our footprint and show it off to the teams. And that was really fun to do over the course of the last year and share that, hey, I'm having a great experience. Everyone gets excited when they see the Midco Mobile on the top left of my phone. And so, I think putting effort into bringing your teams along is super important because if they aren't bought in, your customers aren't going to be bought in. And so I think we've been really intentional, making sure that the team really understands what we're doing and that they're proud of the product that we're bringing to market. And I think we've been able to do that. And I'm happy that one way that we accomplished that was through me being the first person to port my number.
Well, Midco, continues to be very innovative in both residences and businesses. Your team has been growing organically by providing great services to your friends, neighbors, and communities. You've also been growing inorganically by, adding additional properties and territories around. And so the Midco mission and the Midco movement continues to expand. What do you see in the future for Midco and what are some of the high spots that you look to in the coming years that will continue to drive this story and this journey of Midco?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're really committed to growing our footprint and bringing the Midco brand and the Midco team into new areas that would benefit from having a reliable fiber-backed broadband provider like us. But with that, we're also really excited to bring Midco Mobile alongside it. We see Midco Mobile as a key supporting mechanism for our growth into the future, where we're not just bringing broadband, but we're bringing that converged mobile and broadband experience. And so that gives us confidence that when we go into new markets, that we have something that customers are going to be really excited about. And so, while we're certainly going to be focused on scaling Midco Mobile across our existing footprint, we're going to be bringing it to new areas as well. And I'm excited about that too.
Well, what a powerful perspective, Ben. And the lesson I think here for everyone is that even a company with nearly a century of history has to stay agile, has to continue listening to their neighbors and their customers and listen to what they're asking for. Midco's transition into mobile isn't just about a new product. It's about reinforcing that customer commitment through a more complete connection. So Ben, I just want to take an opportunity to thank you so much for sharing these insights today on Telgoo5 Talks. It's been fascinating to see the blueprint that Midco Mobile is using and your commitment to the customer, your commitment to broadband, and continuing to sort of push innovation forward. You can learn more about Midco at midco.com. Ben, anything else that you'd like to add as we wrap up today?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Stuart. As you can tell, I get really excited talking about Midco Mobile, and it's been great working with you and your team on this. And we are very excited to be bringing it to market here real soon. So appreciate you having me.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to take this opportunity to thank you and your team as well. You've been amazing to work with. Your customers are being very well served by your team and their focus on the customer. And so, I want to also thank all of our listeners. You can find more insights on digital transformation and MVNO strategies at Telgoo5 Talks. We hope that today's conversation inspires you. We look at fiber and we look at this broadband convergence as being a really pivotal part of this industry. And so, we appreciate your listening. Again, you can find more at Telgoo5.com. This has been Stuart Chowning for Telgoo5 Talks. Let's talk soon.